Welcome to BestMyTest TOEFL Independent Writing video series. In today's video, you'll begin part 2 of the two-part lesson about how to write the introductory paragraph. In the previous video, you learned that we can include the general background information about the essay topic before we write the thesis statement in the introductory paragraph. In this video, we're going to show you a different way of writing general background information and thesis statements. Now, I want to make it clear to you that you don't have to write general background information in your introductory paragraph. You can still score high with just a thesis statement. However, writing general background information will help you get a higher score. So, if you find yourself struggling with it, you should just focus on writing the more important thesis statement. But if you have enough time and can do it, we definitely recommend it. Okay. Since general background information comes before the thesis statement, we'll start our lesson learning about general background information. Before we begin, please note that later on in this video, we'll look at the 6 question types of the TOEFL independent writing task. If you don't remember or did not watch the video lesson, Learning 6 question types of the TOEFL independent writing task, then go watch it now. If you want to continue on, don't worry. We'll remind you before starting that section. Now let's begin our lesson by talking about various ways of writing general background information. Here we organized a few different techniques for you to write the background information in the introductory paragraph. Here's what you can do. 1. Begin with 2 sides of opinions on the essay topic. 2. Begin with the general public's opinions. 3. Introduce a fact that raises a question about the essay topic. 4. Introduce a debate on the essay topic. 5. Mention the advantage or disadvantage of a subject as a way to contrast your main opinion on the subject. Right, let's see some introductory paragraphs using those techniques. Pay attention to the underlined phrases where the technique is used. You can use those underlined phrases in your essay. We'll start with, begin with 2 sides of opinions on the essay topic. What do you think is the cause of violence today? Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer.
There are different views on the causes of violence in the world today. Some argue that violence is attributed to people's exposure to violent scenes on television and in films, while others point to wider problems in society, such as unemployment, education, and poor housing as the underlying cause of antisocial behavior. In my opinion, poor parenting is the chief cause of violent behavior.
Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Children should be required to help with household tasks. Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer.
There are differing opinions on whether children should be required to do household tasks. Some people think that parents should do all the household tasks without their children's help, for they believe that children are still too young to do housework and can sometimes make things worse. Other people, however, argue that it is beneficial in many ways for children to take part in the household work. I, myself, agree with the latter, as it teaches children responsibility, discipline, and contributes to a sense of unity.
People have different perspectives towards money. Some people value money over family and friendship, while others care more about their family and friends over money. In your opinion, what is your attitude towards money? Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer.
People take and hold different views towards monetary wealth. Some people sacrifice everything in the pursuit of money. Other people take money lightly. Instead, they treasure family, hobbies, friends, and philanthropy more than money. As far as I'm concerned, money should not be pursued at the expense of quality of life.
Okay, now let's look at begin with the general public's opinions. Many people choose to study abroad because they believe that diplomas earned from overseas universities will give them better job opportunities, while others think that an education degree is a far cry from what is realistically practiced in the real world of business. What's your take on this? Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer.
Society generally holds the idea that people who graduate from an overseas institution, no matter which school they go to, are stronger job candidates in terms of their language abilities and expansive thinking in a global context. However, in my opinion, it is a misconception that a higher education degree obtained from prestigious schools in foreign countries automatically equate to a better job prospect and higher salary pays.
When people succeed, it's because of hard work. Luck has nothing to do with success. Do you agree or disagree with the statement above? Use examples and details to support your position.
It is generally believed that success comes through hard work and luck does not play a part. However, in my opinion, hard work can certainly improve a person's situation, but luck will to a large extent influence the course of a person's life because the social circumstances that people are born into play an amazingly large role in the potential they have throughout their lives.
Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Children should begin learning a foreign language as soon as they start school.
There is a widely held perception that children should begin learning a foreign language as soon as they begin school. I personally agree with this idea. As the world becomes more globally interconnected, the best-placed people for success are bilingual. Also, children are known for absorbing languages easier than adults, and so youth would be the best time to learn. Along the same lines, if a person knows a language by the time they are in their teens, they are capable of speaking fluently by the time they begin using another language. Children who learn a language when young are at a greater advantage over those who don't.
Next up, introducing a fact that raises a question about this essay topic. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Television, newspapers, magazines, and other media pay too much attention to the personal lives of famous people, such as public figures and celebrities. Use specific reasons and details to explain your opinion.
Media generally covers incidents of celebrities to attract more readers, viewers, and followers. However, this raises the question of whether the media pays far too much attention to the personal lives of famous people. In my opinion, media has gone overboard on celebrity coverage, and it has clearly been an invasion of personal privacy.
Do you agree or disagree with the following statements? It is inevitable that as technology develops, tradition must be lost.
As modern technology plays an increasing role in our lives, many people have begun to question whether this means the end of many traditions that have developed over centuries, since they think that technology and tradition are incompatible. As far as I'm concerned, it depends on what the traditions are and how the technology is used. I certainly do not believe that the loss of traditions is inevitable.
Next on our list, introducing a debate on the essay topic. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Only people who earn a lot of money are successful. Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer.
Success is generally a subjective concept. Since people's criteria for success differ, there is much debate over whether or not only those who make a lot of money are successful. Though, as far as I'm concerned, in today's society, which focuses on individual achievement, money provides the best evaluation of one's accomplishments and overall success.
Developing an industry is more important than saving the environment for endangered animals. Do you agree or disagree with the statement? Use specific details and examples to support your viewpoint.
The debate on the competition between economic development and the protection of endangered species has been going on for decades. I disagree with the statement that developing an industry should take precedence over saving the environment for endangered species, because I firmly believe that destroying the environment will eventually take its toll on humans in the long run.
Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Technology has made the world a better place to live. Use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion.
In the new millennium, technology is set to become an essential feature of society. People are often confronted with the argument concerning the impact of widespread use of technology on society, In my opinion, despite some negative impacts brought on by technological advancements, technology has clearly made the world a better place to live, as it has created better communication, transportation, and medical care for people.
And finally, mentioning the advantage or disadvantage of a subject as a way to contrast your main opinion on the subject. Some people say that cars have made life easier and more convenient. Other people say that cars have caused environmental pollution, such as air pollution and noise pollution. What is your opinion? Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer.
Since their creation and rapid growth in popularity in the 20th century, cars have become a huge part of many lives. While they offer the clear advantage of convenience, they come with some negative effects as well. Cars are a contributor to air pollution and global climate change, as well as a danger when not properly handled.
Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Telephones and email have made communication between people less personal. Use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion.
The cell phone is one of the defining technologies of the early 21st century. While there are negative societal consequences of cell phones, it's also true that they can bring many benefits. Mobile technology allows users to interact with family, friends, and colleagues in ways that weren't possible for previous generations.
Right, so we've looked at each technique individually, but did you know that you can use multiple techniques for your introductory paragraph? For example, you can introduce a debate and present both sides of opinions before you write your thesis statement. Let's look at the following example. Some high schools require all students to wear school uniforms. Other high schools permit students to decide what to wear. Which of these two school policies do you think is better? Use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion.
Whether students should wear school uniforms or not is a hotly debated topic. When asked about what students ought to wear to school, uniforms or not, some people hold the opinion that wearing matching uniforms is clearly better than the alternative for many reasons. Others, of course, strongly disagree that students should conform to such a dress code. From encouraging unity and focus to promoting safety, I believe that the advantages of wearing uniforms outweigh those of not wearing uniforms.
Do you think the death penalty should be abolished? Use specific reasons and examples to support your opinion.
There have been multiple heated discussions on whether the death penalty should be abolished or not. As with everything, there are always two sides to every question. There are social groups urging for the abolition of the death penalty. On the other hand, there are those who hold opposing views on the idea of abolishing this penalty. In my view, the death penalty should be abolished for 3 compelling reasons.
Sure, that was a lot of examples and information. We're about to delve into the thesis statement, and remember, it's more important than writing general background information, so it could benefit you to take a short break now. Okay, so just like there are different types of essays, there are different styles of thesis statements, and for the purpose of this lesson, we will call them, number 1, broad thesis statements. Number 2, explicit thesis statements. A broad thesis statement tells the reader the main opinion on the topic of the essay, but does not include an overview of the key points of the essay. This thesis statement style is generally used for much longer essays, allowing the many body paragraphs to reveal the key points. It gives the writer more flexibility while writing the body paragraphs. Later on, we will discuss which essay thesis statement style to use and when. Explicit thesis statement. An explicit thesis statement also tells the reader the main opinion on the topic of the essay and includes an overview of the key points in the order that they appear in the body paragraphs. This gives the writer less flexibility, but offers the reader a better insight into your essay. This style of thesis statement is better suited for shorter 5-paragraph essays, like the essay you will be writing in your TOEFL exam. More on that later. Let's look at some examples of broad thesis statements, noticing that no overview of key points is made. There are 3 main reasons why people attend college. A new restaurant will improve our community in several different ways. I firmly believe that destroying the environment will eventually take its toll on humans in the long run. Okay, So now let's look at some examples of explicit thesis statements, which includes an overview of the key points of the essay. I believe that all high school students should have to study art and music because it's good for their brains, good for their personalities, and good for their cultural understandings. Studying abroad has become popular for many students. I think that this is because they understand other cultures, can get a better education, and have better job opportunity. I prefer to cook a meal at home because cooking at home gives me more choices of food, more freedom to choose my ingredients, and a more challenging and satisfying cooking experience. Right, so now you understand the difference between a broad thesis statement and an explicit thesis statement, in that a broad thesis statement will not include overview of key points, while an explicit thesis statement does. You can choose whichever statement you prefer, but generally speaking, an explicit thesis statement helps the reader understand your essay better. So should you use a broad thesis statement or an explicit thesis statement? Well, from my personal experience, writing an explicit thesis statement takes a bit more time and can change as you write your essay. So generally, I recommend to students to write a broad thesis statement first, and once you've completed writing the body paragraphs, and assuming you have enough time, go back and change your broad thesis statement into an explicit thesis statement. So the simplest answer is make sure you complete your essay. Don't waste your precious time on an explicit thesis statement unless you know exactly what you're going to write in your body paragraphs, or you have enough time remaining once you've completed your essay. Okay, at the start of this video, I briefly mentioned the 6 question types of the TOEFL independent writing task. This is a reminder that you should watch the video lesson, learning 6 question types of the TOEFL independent writing task, before continuing on to the next part of this lesson. Agree or disagree, support or oppose, preference, if imaginary, description or explanation, compare and contrast. Here are some useful language expressions that you can use in your thesis statement for each question type. Pause the video to look at this table for a moment. Okay, let's look at some examples. Most of the video lesson used agree or disagree and explanation or description questions. So, we'll just look at examples of the question types for support or oppose, preference, if or imaginary, and compare and contrast questions. Here is the support or oppose question. It has recently been announced that a new restaurant may be built in your neighborhood. Do you support or oppose this plan? Why? Use specific reasons and details to support your answer.
If a new proposal to build a movie theater were suggested for my neighborhood, I would adamantly approve of this idea.
It has recently been announced that a new high school may be built in your community. Do you support or oppose this plan? Why? Use specific reasons and details in your answer.
If the government announced a plan to construct a new high school in my area, I would offer my support to this idea.
It has recently been announced that a large shopping center may be built in your neighborhood. Do you support or oppose this plan? Why? Use specific reasons and details to support your answer.
If a new proposal to build a new large shopping center were suggested for my neighborhood, I would adamantly oppose this plan.
Here is the preference question. Some people prefer to work for themselves or own a business. Others prefer to work for an employer. Would you rather be self-employed, work for someone else, or own a business? Use specific reasons to explain your choice.
Despite any benefits to working for a company or owning a large business, given the choice, I prefer to be self-employed.
Some people prefer to eat at food stands or restaurants. Other people prefer to prepare and eat food at home. Which do you prefer? Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer.
When push comes to shove, though, I would rather cook a meal at home because cooking at home gives me more choices of food, more freedom to choose my ingredients, and a more challenging and satisfying cooking experience.
Some people prefer to live in a small town. Others prefer to live in a big city. Which place would you prefer to live in? Use specific reasons and details to support your answer.
Given the choice between small town and big city life, I would undoubtedly choose the city.
Here is the if or imaginary question. Remember, you should use type 2 conditional to write your thesis statement for this type of question. If you could study a subject that you have never had the opportunity to study, what would be your choice? Explain your choice using specific reasons and details.
If I were given the opportunity to study anything that I have previously not studied, I would pursue knowledge in the field of electrical engineering.
Here is the compare and contrast question. It has been said, not everything that is learned is contained in books. Compare and contrast knowledge gained from experience with knowledge gained from books. In your opinion, which source is more important? Why? Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer.
In my opinion, it is true that many things people learn in life cannot be taught in a book. Therefore, the experiences of a lifetime are vastly more important than the knowledge of books.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our website at www.bestmytest.com.